Yo, yo, good morning, everyone. Dan the Glassman here. You're watching the Glassman's World. And we are going to be working on a few different things here. We got a few orders to make. So today, we're going to be working on the Drop of Water 2.0. We got several requests for these after the last time I made these and sent them to Grandmother Carol for her water walk up there in Washington recently. So, water's life. Mini Wachoni. We're still doing what we do with the drop of water. Still making the glass drops. All kinds of different water drops, different styles and shapes and things like that. So this is one of them here. This one here is made with cobalt blue on clear glass. As you can see, it's mostly all clear. The backing is actually colored blue with the white outer ring on that one. This one here is a mistake. It's a mess up. So that's why it's being set to the side. And yeah, we'll work on a few other things. I may work on some hot air balloons today. We got a few orders to fulfill on some balloons where I replicate the balloons, as you can see. This one needs to be redone as well. So, gonna get started with probably just a little bit of prep work. We'll make sure we got the white. We definitely need to make sure that the white is pulled. So, while we're working on these orders, I'm going to be talking about some of the beginner techniques, beginner lessons in glass, how to pull stringers, how to gather glass, how to add color to clear glass, and different things like that. So we'll get started here in just a moment, making sure that the kiln is getting up to temperature here. So we got the kiln on. The kiln is just right here next to us on the floor. And we'll see if anyone comes in here and joins us. Let me see if I can share this out. Alright, we'll just put a little post up. I don't know if these things work or not. I've just started learning that we can create posts on YouTube, which is really cool. Alright, so that was interesting. For some reason, my Facebook is not hooked up to my regular channel, so oh well. Might be able to get the computer here working. Alright, we're just getting things situated and set up here real quick. Making sure I'm all ready to go. Let's get our glasses on. So we're going to be testing out these glasses once again today. This time, though, we are going to be working with color glass. So for the first time, we'll be using these Vetro Safe. See, Vetro Safe. We're going to be using the Vetro Safe Didymium glasses, which is the X2 Guardian OTG P6006-PL. We keep them in the case to make sure that they stay nice and safe. These are actually not mine, so I want to make sure to take real good care of them. Alright, you guys, so this is what the glasses look like. They're pretty cool. They work really well. I can actually see extremely well with these. I was telling my friend who purchased them that the only difference is this color right here, where I don't know if I can show you the difference. You see how it's orange? And when you put these on, it looks more red. Oh yeah, you see that? See that difference? That is the only difference that I see, is that this orange starts to look red. A lot of the other colors, you know, you got white. White looks white. Let's see what this one is. Periwinkle. Periwinkle looks periwinkle. Red. Let's check out the red. This is a cherry red. Red. Looks red. See that? It's just the orange, which is lava. Actually, this is lava right here. And you can see, look at that difference. So that's the difference with these lenses. The rest of the colors, look at, here's another red. This is the dark garnet. Stays really nicely. Here goes that baby shit green. Stays. I guess the green kind of lightens up slightly. Here's some of the what is this? Oh, the peacock. Peacock stays peacock. So as you can see, oh, let's check out orange, yellow here. Yellow. What does yellow do? Yellow stays yellow. See that? So the only color that's affected by these VetroSafe glasses is that lava is the orange. I don't know if I have a different orange. I think these are also all lava. I think this is also lava. Yep. I don't know. What about this color here? This is an interesting green. Stays the same. Maybe it whitens out just a little bit. It's only that lava, that orange, that really changes color. Here, watch, check this out. This is some of the jellyfish spiral that I make, the ribbon cane. And watch this. Oh, let's put it on the right side. Look at that. See how it brings out that orange to make it look red? So that's the only difference that I see, is that orange or that lava actually changes color. So that's really interesting. This pendant right here, right? See how it goes red? So that's interesting, huh? Oh look, here's a piece of old school pipe that I made. You can see the front of it there. Real simple, nothing special. But let's take a look. See how that orange gets really red in there. So anything orange, I guess, goes really, really red. But red stays red. Quite interesting, huh? Alright. So now that I've shown you these Vetro, is that what they're called? VetroSafe? Let me make sure I'm saying it right. VetroSafe Didymium glasses. These are really awesome. They're only like, I think my friend said he paid like $60 for these. These are better than my $600 shades. These ones, when they first came out, these were 600 bucks. Right here. They got like the snowboard wraparound. I like them. They are comfortable. They're also made with probably a more stronger plastic than these ones here. But these are nice. Like I said, the only difference that you can see is that orange turns red. That is the only difference. Everything else, red looks red, white looks white. It's just that orange. Alright, so let's get started here, guys. I'm working propane and oxygen, just so you know. So beginners, you got to have a torch. You got to have your torch hoses hooked up. Got your propane and your oxygen. Those go to regulators, which you got hooked up to the to your tanks there. So you got your regulators up top, and the propane is sitting outside. That's the safest place for propane to be. We have an oxygen generator, which is hooked up below us here. So we're going to turn this on. It's going to get a little noisy. Oh, is it unplugged? Sorry about that. Might have unplugged it. There we go. Alright, so today, one of the first things that we have to do is they're not pumping enough oxygen. Alright. Hopefully we can get through a session here today. So this oxygen concentrator is actually really really new to the setup here. I've used one before. This one seems like it wants to try to time out. I don't know why. For some reason, this computer continuously resets itself to Saturday, January 1st, 2011. We're back in time again. And I don't know why. And then it doesn't give me a manual way to type in the date and the time. It's so stupid. So I have to actually let me see, let's change calendar setting. Can I change that there? and we can go. No? I don't know why it always resets itself, so I apologize for that. Trying to figure out if there's any way I can set it properly. Alright, well, whatever. So now we got to go all the way from January. It's so dumb. I got to go all the way from 2011 all the way to 2022. A whole 11 years. So sorry guys, sorry about this delay. So today what we're going to work on is getting the 2.0s, the Drop of Water 2.0 remade today. Oh, there we are, November 16th, which is a Wednesday. And the current time is actually 9:05 a.m. Okay. I have no idea why it does that. Okay, but sorry about that delay, guys. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grabbing some of this color glass here, and then we're going to pull stringers. So that's one of the first things that we're going to work on is pulling stringers here. So in order to pull stringers, you can do it a couple ways. One of the best ways is just by using your tweezers or your pliers. When you're working with color, you don't want to have too oxygenated, so I always turn down my oxygen or bring up the propane to give it a more lighter, less oxygenated, less intense of a flame. So that way you don't boil the colors, especially when working with cadmiums, different colors that have a lot of different metals in them, things like that. Colors do want to boil on you. So we're going to heat up this really good section here. About an inch, 3/4 of an inch. We're going to grab it by the end with the tweezers here, and I like to pull vertically. Now some people will pull horizontally. I think it gives yourself more chance of it bending and not staying straight. So you want to give yourself a nice pull, and what I do is I grab it and go vertical with it start pulling to the point on that thinness I want to get. Once I get to that thinness, I just kind of let it set up, stop for a moment, and then just pull. And then I'll grab it here horizontal and just kind of give it a pull like it's a piece of rope. And you make sure that when you're twisting it, that it doesn't have like an offset kind of a wobble. So that stringer is, you know, pretty long. You know, almost as long as my whole forearm. I'd say a good, well, not as long as my forearm, but I don't know if you can really tell. But that stringer is pretty close. I'd say, I don't know, good 10 inches or so there. And now what I'm doing is I'm grabbing that piece of glass that was at the very, very end, and I'm going to gently heat up parts where it's a little bit thicker than the rest, and we're going to just slightly pull it to where it all becomes one. And you see how it's kind of clumped up right there? I'm going to try to pull that out just slightly. That way it's not so clumped up. There's a little thin spot right in between there too, which I could go in and thicken it up some. Just bouncing it in the flame. And just like that, make sure it's nice and straight. And it's thickened up a little bit more, a little bit better. You could also take that whole piece off, so you're not having to worry about anything, which then you pull that down into a point. You got yourself some little scrap glass where you just toss that into your scrap jar. And then we'll set this down, always with the hot end to away from you. So that way you always are grabbing cold ends. These are always cold. But you got to be careful, because sometimes you might put a hot end, like see these little shorty ones here? You might set one of these down right here, which then it might heat up this area right here. And yeah, you grab it from the end here, but you're going to really be working with it more in the center right here. So you want to make sure you don't put any hot glass in that area where you're going to be holding it as well. Lots of different safety tips and tricks, you know, just over time. You know, I've been doing this since 1995, so for 27 years now, guys, I've been blowing glass and you know, teaching also how to blow glass for a long time, and also teaching a lot about safety. A lot of how to excuse me, a lot of how to sorry, I totally went blank because I noticed there's a video up right now, and I'm just like, wait, I think that's yesterday's video. I'm not 100% on that. Oh yeah. Okay, that was from a few days ago on Twitch. I was like, wait a minute. Is it the same video? All right, so what I was saying is I've been working glass for so long and been able to teach individuals on safety, on tips, tricks, different techniques, how to learn how to blow glass, beginner glass blowing lessons, how to create accounts, how you sell your glass, being able to get out there and promote yourself, building websites and web pages and things like that. There's a lot that goes into being an artist and being a self-promoted, self-endorsed, self-taught artist. There's a lot that comes with it. The whole, once you make the art, then what do you do with it? You can give it away to grandma, grandpa, to your mom, your dad, your children, your wife, your husband. You give it away all day, right? That's what a lot of artists do. They're so amazingly talented, but they have no idea how to sell their art. So they just give it away, and people are like, why are you giving away your artwork all the time? It's really interesting to me. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But people do that. So today, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a crooked angle here. So we've got our stringer that we pulled. So you got the white stringer. So this one here, it's I don't know, I'd say about 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeters thick. Now we need to make sure we have our cobalt. So you get yourself your cobalt here, right? And then we get our clear glass. Now the clear glass, I want to make sure that it's always clean. So, luckily, I got my wife into Norwex, and she became a consultant for Norwex, and now she sells it. And so now I have this really awesome OptiCloth, the Norwex OptiCloth. I highly recommend all glass blowers get it. Alright. So now we're going to do gathering. So what is gathering? Gathering glass is basically introducing the tip of the glass right here. You introduce it. You got a little tiny tip, right? So you introduce the tip of your glass right into the flame. And you can see the flame's blue as soon as you introduce a little tiny bit. You see that? That's just the point. You see? As soon as you put that in, you can see the flame, so you know that your glass is in there. So you want to just put just barely the tip in, just a little bit. You don't want to put it all the way through, because you don't want to overheat that glass behind there, because it can crack, it can shatter. You want to make sure you keep your flame first on the tip. Get that nice and warm. We're going to bring the heat up on the oxygen, make it a little more intense so we can actually gather it. Another thing is, instead of holding it at a right here, this is pretty much parallel with my table with the torch. You guys are seeing it, it looks real crooked or whatever, but this is parallel, basically horizontal, right? I want to drop this down a little bit. So if we're looking at this parallel, we want to drop this down slightly. So that way, that glass, okay, let me move this because I already see accidents happening. The tip of that was hot last time, so I didn't want to leave it up against the wall. So we got this already warm. You can see it glowing. So that part is already warm. We're going to bring this back because it's not to be. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. But as I was saying, depending on if you're bringing up the flame, you want to bring up the propane first, then match the oxygen. If you're going to bring it down, you want to bring your oxygen down first and then match your propane. Oxygen, propane, or you go propane, oxygen when you're bringing it up. So when you're turning on your torch, there's a anagram known as POOP. POOP, propane, oxygen, then oxygen, propane. So when you're turning on your torch, you always light the propane first, then turn on the oxygen. And when you're shutting it down, you want to shut down the oxygen, and then you shut down your propane. So right now what we're doing is we're gathering to about the size of the original, the drop of water, which is basically a clear glass. Well, that one's not clear. Let me see if I can find one. A clear glass water drop pendant, right? So we want to basically make this to the size of that. So I normally start with a 16 millimeter rod, which is like a half-inch rod in my hand. I gather it. So what we've been doing is we've been holding it at that